Everybody, this is Arkansas Mud Kings with a product review on the Undercover Flex bed cover. Focusing on that a little bit. There you go. I installed this myself and it was a pretty easy process. Didn't really have any issues. There's a little cord you pull right here and you flip it up, and it is a trifold cover, so it has 3 times you can flip it up before you folded up the whole cover. And you have just another one of those cords. And what I like about this one is if you need 2/3 of your bed space, then you just leave it like this and strap this down. Put a little clip right there and tighten it up so it doesn't go anywhere. And that's pretty easy to do. And then if you need all but probably about 4 inches of your bed space, you flip this completely up and there's a bar right here and a little clip. You pull that up and you put the little mount onto the rod right there. Also, here's Yoda Overlander sticker they sent me. Thank y'all for that. And there's another one over here, and if you're going on the interstate or if you're driving around more than just in your neighborhood, then I would definitely put both on, or you could mess up your cover and everything else. So I would not do that. Alright, one problem I have had with this is, this isn't a major problem, and I actually am just noticing this, but there's a little bit of rust in all of the little screws. Yep, those two. That's not really anything major, but it also says that you need to drill holes. I just thought to mention this. This isn't a problem, but it says to drill holes in your bed, but if you have the Tundra, you have pre-drilled holes both in the front and rear of your bed. And so I just cut the pipe in half and ran it from the little nozzle to this, and it took the pre-drilled hole in the bed is a little bit smaller than the pipe, so you can see I kind of had to crush it up, and then it'll run out the side and onto the ground. And I did test that, and it will run to the ground, not just somewhere in your truck, which isn't good. But it's also got another problem I've had. Here, put this down. Is one of these little things, or I'll just use this one as an example. One of these little things came completely loose. Some of the screws down beneath this part came completely stripped out, and so they have like pre-drilled holes under these little things, and so they had some extra hole places, I guess, in case something like this did happen. And so when I first started undoing it, there's a screw here, a screw here. I guess I gotta flip this out one more. Use that. It actually was this one, I think. It was this screw right here. These two screws, I don't think you have to take off, but I didn't know what I was looking for, so I took those off as well. And you slide this piece off, and there are, I think, somewhere between 1 and 3 screws. It's been a while since I did this. This is probably my 8th month of owning this bed cover, and I did this probably within the 3rd month. And so there's, like I said, more pre-drilled holes down in there. So I just took a screwdriver and pushed real hard and twisted it back into one of the other pre-drilled holes. So that wasn't too big of a deal, and that works just fine now. It had come loose, and it kind of, I don't even know if this is just from the normal thing where it hits, but it kind of scratched this up and there's some chips, but it didn't really bother me, so I fixed it pretty quickly. And this has just recently started happening, and whatever they're using for tape on the bottom of this seal in the front is coming like undone. And I walked out here one day and it was stripped out completely, like probably from this part of the bed to probably halfway, I'd say 1/4 of the way down. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as halfway, but I just kind of have to tuck it back in every once in a while like this and just kind of push it back up in there. Here you can kind of see where it's actually pulled out over there. And so it just now started doing that, and it may just be from the summer, it being so hot that the glue's melting off and getting just where it's not as good anymore. But I think that needs to be fixed. If y'all do any kind of future updates on this. But those are really my only complaints. One thing that's not their fault, but is other people's fault that have opened my bed and stuff, is you have to shut the bed before you close this, or it will bend this little seal right here up under there, and I don't know, it's starting to have a little bit of a crease just from where other people have used it. And even when I first got the truck, or got the bed cover put on the truck, when you put any kind of pressure on the top of the thing, it ducks down in there. Like, it pushes down and this part lifts up, and it's rated at, I want to say it said, it's been a while since I've ordered this, but it was rated at a good weight where you can have a lot of weight on top of this bed without it like collapsing in or whatever. But I think that if it's going to already require you to close the tailgate before you shut this down, that this should be at least a little bit on top of the bed, or on top of the tailgate, so that it has some kind of resistance there other than just this little water seal. Because this really is just a thin piece of rubber that really is super thin and shouldn't have any pressure on it. But there's not any way that it really could have touched the bed, or the tailgate, I mean. Keep saying bed. There's only a slight lip right there. You can see it compared to my finger, and it's probably the length of my fingernail on my index finger. So if that had touched, then it may have kept it from doing it, but it barely covers the front of the truck. They did a good length where it goes just from barely over the tailgate with the seal to right even with the front of the bed in the front. You can't see that probably as well because of that seal being unglued and just kind of hanging there. Another thing that probably may have caused that seal, now that I think about it, is I have a bed liner that came from Toyota, and so they sprayed it up on top of this little bed rail in the front. So that lighter color, that's not the seal, but right directly below the seal. I'm trying to focus in on it. You can kind of see it. Yeah, there you go. Right under the big foam seal, there's a lighter color before it gets to the paint color, and that is the bed liner. So that may be why this is pulling up. This is bent up somehow. They bent this little plastic piece up. I don't know when that happened. But the other thing I would recommend you getting, if your truck did not already come with it, is a locking tailgate. Because my truck came with just this lock that you have to manually lock every time you open or close it. So what I decided to do is I think it's called a pop-in lock, lock that goes inside of the actual tailgate and behind this. And so every time you unlock your truck, you will also have the tailgate lock and unlock. And it just goes along with your key fob. And I did have that installed by a place in, I think it's Sherwood, called, wow, I can't think of the name. AC Power Sports, this was the name of it. And I haven't had really any problems with it, other than, here, you can kind of hear it even just when I hit it. There's like a rattling sound. Alright, my card ran out of film, but I'll pick up right where I was. There's a rattling sound in there, and even when you're going down like a bumpy road to hunting camp, that'll be rattling all over the place. And there has been times where it was just super loud, where I thought the thing might be broken, and I had to take the truck back there anyway. So I asked them about it, and they said that there's no kind of sound dampening thing in there, so everything will be moving around, and there's not going to be any kind of thing to stop it from making that noise. And that's just kind of, it works great, but it's kind of annoying at times. But on the road, you pretty much never hear it. When you close the tailgate, you do hear it a little bit. And I'll get my key out of the car. Alright, but see, you unlock the truck and you can hear it kind of click, and that didn't bother me at all, but some people have complained about it, so I just thought I'd point it out. And then when you lock it, like the stupid door unlock, open, hold on. Alright, but when you lock it, you can hear it kind of click the thing up and lock it in place. And unlock. And it doesn't do it when you do just the driver's side, which is one click of the unlock button. It only does it when you do 2 clicks. I'll show that. See, that only unlocks the driver door. But when you double click it, it unlocks all the doors and the tailgate as well. Which has been really nice, because you can't just forget to lock your tailgate back. And if you ever have a friend that needs to get in your truck, into the bed of the truck, whether it be for hunting or whatever, you can have just, with Toyota, you can be at least, you just have to be decently close to the truck for it to unlock it with the key fob, as opposed to the Jeep over there where you have to be like right freaking next to it. Excuse me. So you can unlock the truck from a good distance away, and so your buddy doesn't have to come to your stand and get your keys, or if you're at work and your wife wants to drop something off, or your girlfriend wants to drop something off in your bed, in your truck bed, then you just unlock it from inside and you're good to go. You don't have to have them come get your key and interrupt everything that's going on. So that's a good investment. I love that thing. It cost me, I want to say, $400 installed, which isn't bad at all. But definitely considering that you have to actually install it and run wires all the way to the cab is what they made it sound like. I don't know exactly what all that entails. I just know I'm not electrically advanced enough to know how to do that. So I leave work like that to the guys who do that for a living. So I don't mess anything else up. And there you have it. That's my review on my Undercover Flex. It does bow out a little bit there. I kind of forgot about that, actually. Try to focus in. It kind of sticks up in both the corners. I completely forgot about this. This one's not as bad. And they always said, like, oh, you just leave it out in the heat a little bit and it'll kind of fix itself. But no, you have to put a lot of strain on that to make it sit down. And it couldn't, the bed cover's even, but it just sticks up like that, even like this. Like, it's not too far up or back on one side. It just sticks up right there. And I don't know if it was just like a manufacturing defect or what, but it's just annoying to look at, and it doesn't serve any kind of purpose that would interrupt what I'm doing, so I just left it, kind of left it alone and let it be like that. But anyway, there's my complete review of the Undercover Flex and the pop and lock locking system for your tailgate.